Hey everybody, it's Erin from Juniper and Oaks. I am so excited to be going live with you today to just discuss the FAQs of the Mosaic Nordic CAL. Okay, before I jump in, you might be wondering, what is the Mosaic Nordic CAL? Maybe you haven't seen it around, maybe you don't really know who I am or what the heck I'm talking about. So let me tell you. So I'm Erin. I am a crochet designer. I design crochet patterns, and right now I am running a CAL, or a crochet along, which means that people around the world are crocheting the same thing at the same time, and it's incredible. You guys want to see the blanket? I know that a lot of you watching already know about the blanket and are participating, and you're just wanting to know the answers of these frequently asked questions. But I just wanted to show whoever else might be new. Look at this. This is the Mosaic Nordic CAL, and it is a blanket pattern. It's nice and big. It's like 50 inches by 60 inches, give or take, depending on your tension and your gauge and all that. And it's meant to be like a Christmas heirloom that you pass down throughout the generations, or you can give it as a gift, and then that person, it will be a Christmas heirloom for them. And what's really special about this blanket is that it looks pretty complicated, but however, it's designed in mosaic crochet technique. This is overlay mosaic technique, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But for those of you who are new, this is what the blanket looks like. We are, I'm very excited to be crocheting this along with my crochet community. I am just going to pull this up. Okay, so one of the questions I get asked all the time is, where can I find the details about this CAL? What is it? What's happening? And I have a link that I've put with this post, with this video, and that's the landing page for the crochet along. Okay, it's found on my website, juniperandoaks.com, and there's a special blog post that talks all about it. And really, it has a lot of the answers to these frequently asked questions, but I know that it gets missed, and then more stuff is coming up along the way. So that's why I'm creating this video, so that we get all the answers that you want. And if you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook or wherever, just leave a comment and I will try to answer the question. Thank you. If you are also watching on my Facebook group and you're leaving comments, I can't, sometimes I can't see what your name is. You just have to like click the link to give StreamYard permission to show your picture. So I just wanted to also clear that up. So down below, you will find the links to find all the details that you want about the Mosaic Nordic CAL, but I'll just kind of walk you through it just a little bit. So how it works is each of these designs is a new section of the CAL. Right now, as I'm talking on October 27th, 3 sections of the crochet along have been released. 3 sections of the blanket. My Hug Cross pattern, the Guardian Angel pattern, and this one was designed by Kelly Hathaway of Crochet by Auntie K. And then the 3rd section is this Nordic Snowflake section, and this was designed by Cindy of Cindy's Crochet Design. And there are 8 designers total and 9 patterns. I designed 2 of them as I'm hosting the CAL. And so each week a new section is released. And it is released as a free chart on the blogs, on the websites of the designers. And they're mosaic charts. If you do not know how to read a chart, I do have all the tutorials, and I have videos, walkthroughs, all that you need to get through this. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, Yosi Navas. I see that you're from Brazil. I do not speak Spanish, and I cannot read. I just speak a little bit of Spanish, so I just can't read your comment. And so I'm sorry if you're asking me a question that I should answer. So yes, these are the details about the CAL. You can find out more at the blog post that is posted. I'll go into a little bit more about like hooks and yarn shortly. Okay, so I had mentioned that section by section, these patterns are released. If you want all of the sections right away, you don't want to wait. There is an ebook available, and I've also included that link here in the description as well. So go and find that. Okay, so that is where you can find all the details. Anything that you want to know is on that blog post. So, like I said, what yarn and hook should I use? Well, you can use worsted weight yarn in any two colors. That's how I designed it. But I have seen some amazing crocheters out there who are posting in my Facebook group use whatever colors they want. So lots of different colors. Maybe they're using scrap colors. Maybe they just have this vision of what the blanket should look like. I know one of the designers, she bought yarn in 3 colors because she wanted to have like the same kind of background color, but then alternate their color be throughout. And I think that's going to be beautiful. She used like the traditional Christmas colors, I think. Like a off-white, red, and a green. I've seen some blue ones that are amazing. Some like ugly Christmas sweatery, like lots of different colors. I love it. So just use your creativity. If you want to use the yarn that I used Woolies yarn by Lion Brand. I used 12 skeins of linen. That's kind of this white color. And then 11 skeins of cranberry. So what it really came out to when I did all my math was like 12,285 yards of color A and 2,025 yards of color B. You can either rewind this and write down those numbers, or there's also a blog post to the details, but also to the FAQs that I have typed out. And so you can find the answers there too. So Woolies is part acrylic and part wool. And so if you don't like wool yarn, or you want maybe more 100% yarn, you can substitute for whatever you want. I've even seen people substitute DK yarn to make their blanket a little bit lighter, and that's completely okay too. Some other recommendations that I have for the yarn are Brava Worsted by We Crochet. It's just like a standard fairly economy yarn from We Crochet, or Knit Picks is another name for it. So Brava, and it's 100% acrylic. I like that. They have lots of different colors. I use Brava worsted yarn like all the time. Another option from Lion Brand is Vanna's Choice, and that's their 100% acrylic economy. You can like find that at Michael's, I think, or Joann's. Michael's or Joann's. I think you can find that. I also love Heartland from Lion Brand. Oh my gosh, I just recommended 3 Lion Brand yarns. You can tell I like Lion Brand. They don't pay me to say that. I do have affiliate links to these yarns that I'm recommending though in that FAQ blog post. And if you buy the yarn from those links, then I just get a little bit commission. So thank you for that. Heartland yarn, that's what I'm using for my monthly Mosaic Mystery CAL. I just like it. It's kind of heathered and it's pretty light. It's also acrylic yarn. And then if you really want like a basic economy acrylic yarn, we all kind of know Red Heart Super Saver. Whatever yarn you want to use, that's just fine. Worsted weight or DK, I think that's fine as well. The hook that I used, I'm looking over here. I don't think I brought it over. I used a Furls crochet hook. I don't think I have this in my FAQs actually on the website. I used a size H hook from Furls Crochet. that I love. Some people have asked if they could go down a hook size. That's completely fine. Sometimes you might find with this technique that when you do your front loop double crochet down below, it kind of pulls the yarn up. And so if you want to adjust your hook size, that's just fine. I really don't care about those details as far as like, I'm not, you have to do it my way. You can get creative and do it however you want. One question I've been asked a lot about the yarn is there a kit so you can just easily order the yarn and the pattern together? Like, sorry, there's not. I tried to make that happen with Lion Brand. They didn't go for it. But if anyone knows how to make that happen, like maybe by promoting other people's yarn, we could try to make that happen. I just don't know how to do that. So let me know. There's just no kit right now. I hope maybe next year if I do a project like that, there will be, but there's just not right now. Any questions about the yarn? I can't see. Nope. Okay. So what if I don't know how to do overlay mosaic crochet? Great question. This is kind of a new technique for a lot of people. Many people have been doing overlay mosaic crochet for a long time, but for a lot of people it's brand new. I've been doing it for 2.5 years. I think at the beginning of 2021 I started designing. Before I even crocheted up a sample, I was designing for overlay mosaic because I'm crazy. Someone just asked me, hey, can you design for this crochet along? And I was like, yes, I will do that. And then I just haven't stopped. So if you do not know how to crochet overlay mosaic, that's just fine. I have tutorials and I have videos on my blog and on my YouTube. So I believe I have linked that as well. If not, at the end of this, I will do so. The blog post for my tutorial about the basics of overlay mosaic crochet. And then I also have I've also linked a playlist on YouTube to all the videos for this CAL. And then if you just browse my YouTube, make sure you subscribe. And if you haven't already, just subscribe right now if you're watching on YouTube. That would be great, so that you then hit the bell so you're not missing any of my content. So just browse around on YouTube and you will be able to find more videos that I have about mosaic crochet. So I tried to make this accessible to everybody. If you don't know how to do it, like, I'm teaching you how to do it. And I'm not trying to make this hard on everybody. Like, I love this technique. It looks so intricate. And it looks like it's for really advanced crocheters, but it's not. It's for anybody. It's for anybody who knows how to do a single crochet and a double crochet. One day I might do a live video on the stitches that you need, but essentially you just need to know single crochet, double crochet, and you need to know front loop and back loop, because all of your single crochets are going to be done in the back loop only. And then all of your double crochets are going to be done in your front loop 2 rows below. And so if I'm working with red and I'm doing a single crochet, it's going to be single crochet in the back loop and like right onto like a white row. And then your double crochets are just front loop only double crochets 2 rows below. So if I'm using red, I'm going to go into the front loop that's left over from working in the back loop. Okay. If that might sound complicated right now, but as you're just working, you're like, oh, I can see that. And then you're only using one color at a time. You kind of heard me reference that when I'm saying like one row is worked in red and then the next row is worked in white, or color A, color B, whatever you're using. You're just only using one color at a time. I mean, you've seen, like, if you may know that Kelly's section, she did a little tutorial in her YouTube video where she gave her angels golden halos. I thought that was just so precious. And so she did use 2 colors in that row, but if you want to get courageous and adventurous, then do it that way. But I just used 1 color per row. And so there isn't all this fancy color work. You're just using 1 color per row, and just by switching up your front loop and back loop, stitches, you kind of drop down those double crochets, and that's how you get the color work, and that's how you get this design. But the back is just stranded, right? It's just stripes. And then the texture of those stripes is because you're doing front loop, back loop. But it's very easy. So I do have those tutorials. And then another amazing resource that I just want to call out is Nikki's Homemade Crafts. She just published a Mosaic Made Easy ebook. I have that linked on my FAQ blog post. So I highly recommend it. Nikki is amazing. She has so many awesome resources. So if you do purchase that from my link in my blog post, I do get a little extra commission. So thank you for that. Just so you know, like these affiliate links, and it just helps me to provide free content, because I don't get paid a lot for it, but it helps me, you know, those little bits help. So thank you. I really appreciate that. I am a mom of 3 kids. I'm a wife. I'm a nurse. I'm like active. And so I'm active like in my community. So crocheting is not something I do full time. I have other things keep me occupied. And so in order to keep coming back to it and providing crochet alongs, that's just why I post affiliate links and ads on my website. Okay, any questions on overlay mosaic crochet? Definitely leave them in the comments. Nobody's commented for a while. I can see people are watching, but I'm just going to keep going. Okay, another question I have is, where do I find the free chart? So to find the free chart, you go to that landing page for the CAL, the same link that you used to find all the details. Click that link, and then you scroll to the bottom. You just read all that you need to read, and then you scroll to the bottom, and you will see images of each of the sections that have been released so far. Right now there's only 3 as of October 27th. So you'll see pictures of those, and then you can click on the picture, or you can click on, there's a button that says free chart. So you click that, and then you're taken to another blog post. Okay, the first one, you're taken to another blog post on my website, because I designed the hood cross. And then you'll find the chart there. On some of those, you'll scroll to the very bottom. Each designer has their blog post set up a little bit different, just however they run their business. But the chart is just free on the blog. You'll just see the chart there. And there's not a button that says download. There's no magic thing that gets it onto your computer that you print. It's just free on the website. I know there's a lot of confusion about that, but that is where the chart is. It's not available as a free download. It's just simply made available online to you. And I wanted this CAL to be available for free for everybody. I think that overlay mosaic is a seemingly complicated technique, but it's really easy. I know this blanket is very beautiful, if I do say so myself. So I just wanted it to be accessible for everybody. So we put this option out for the free charts that are available on the website. There's no like sleaziness behind that. There's no that I'm wanting to give this to you. A lot of I've gotten a lot of questions about where can I get the download. Like, this is frustrating, I can't print it. So that's another question I have coming up that I'll just talk about right now, since I'm talking about it here. So if you want to download and print the chart, we have made a beautiful ebook. It is beautiful. I designed it. A beautiful ebook for you to purchase. It's very reasonable price. It's like $11, $10.99. So I put a lot of work into that ebook. We put so much work into this blanket pattern for you. So we have this ebook available that it includes all of the charts. So even though only three have been released, you have access to all 9 of the charts right now. And then you'll also have access to all the written instructions. So if you don't like to read a chart, the written instructions are on there. There's also links to the video posts and blog posts that you need to be successful for all this. There's a link to this video where you can purchase that ebook. It's also all over the place on the landing page and on the FAQ page and wherever. You'll see how to purchase that ebook. If you notice that there is an error in the ebook, just email me and I'll fix it and I'll send it out to everybody. It's no problem. So the ebook is $11. If you think that is too expensive and you just don't have the money to buy that, we do have the charts available for free on our website. So we want everyone to have access to this blanket pattern, like I've said, regardless if you're able to purchase the ebook. I just know that, like, I learned how to crochet on free patterns. I love free patterns. But one thing about the free patterns is they're not really meant to be downloaded. They're not meant just to be given away for free. Sometimes there's blog hops where we're trying to drive a lot of traffic to our websites, and so we do give free downloads for blog hops sometimes. There's some blog hops that are just, hey, here's my website where the pattern is, but not everything is a free download. I hope that makes sense. I know that it can be confusing if you're expecting a free download, but for the sake of this crochet along, there's just no free download. It's just free on the website. Putting the charts for free on the website allows us designers who have ads on our websites, it allows us to be compensated a little bit for that free chart. We have put months and months into this project. I launched the corner to corner version of this CAL last year, and as that was running, I was preparing for this. So I've been working like a whole year for this blanket, and then gathering the designers, figuring everything out as far as stitch counts, working up the blanket. It took me a minimum of like 10 minutes per row to make this blanket, and that was like when I didn't have kids around, so it'll take a long time. But there's just a lot that goes into this blanket behind the scenes, and then just the pennies that we get from you staying on our website really builds up over time and just lets me provide more free content. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you for understanding. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to read some questions here. Yeah, someone wants me to hold up the whole blanket so they can see. Sorry, I'm like sitting down, so it's just hard. These are the first sections that are released here at the bottom. And then, yeah. Go to the landing page and you will see more pictures. Sorry, it's just awkward. Someone is loving this pattern. They bought the ebook, but they're looking wrong with release schedule. Week 3 is so fun. I'm glad this was your first mosaic blanket, and I'm glad that you are just so happy with it. Yay. Yeah. There's a lot of people who are doing that too, working along with the CAL, and they're doing that because there's written instructions in the ebook. Jenny says the ebook is totally worth it. Yay. The patterns are written out, which is super helpful. The ebook is well worth the cost. It's fabulous. I'm not like trying to like be all salesy here, but this is her first time, or his, with this technique, and the ebook has really helped that. Someone else is just finishing up another blanket. Okay, so the yarn weight is not easily available in the Netherlands, so you'll use DK. So I don't think it'll be much smaller. I'm not sure. I don't use DK a lot to be able to know, but you can always add on an extra. In my blanket, I have 4 repeats, but you can always add an extra, a 5th repeat on there if you would like to. Okay, I hope that helps. Okay, speaking to this, I'm going to just add in another question here. That is, what is the starting stitch count? So, what is the starting stitch count? Good question. I used 4 repeats of 50. So that's 200, and then there's a beginning stitch and an ending stitch and one to even it out. So 50 plus 3. Sorry. So I use 200 plus 3, 203 stitches, and I use foundation single crochet. I have tutorials for foundation single crochet. If it's new to you, watch those tutorials and see if you like it. If you do not care for foundation single crochet, don't worry. You can chain 204 and then single crochet in the second chain from the hook, and then you have 203, and then all the way across, and you have 203 stitches. So I used a repeat of 4. I know to make it a little bit skinnier, others have chosen to do a repeat of 3, 3 repeats. If you would like to make it bigger, like maybe if you're doing DK and it's just showing up a little bit smaller, I mean, you won't really be able to. You can just try to make up a swatch of what yours is going to look like. So just do 1 repeat maybe, and then multiply by that by however many, like however wide you want it to be. So I know somebody is doing 5, so they have like a queen size blanket. So you might have to do your own little math on that, but it's possible just to change it. Like I said, I'm not really concerned if you do exactly like mine. You can get really creative and make it bigger or smaller or whatever. Just know that all of the charts that are released are 50 stitches. Some, like this first one I did was I think like a 10 stitch repeat or an 8 stitch repeat, something like that. Must have been 10 because anyway, I'm getting off the point, but all of the charts that are released are 50 stitch repeats, and so you just want to add, make sure that your stitch count is divisible by 50. Well, what you want to do is like the stitch count is 203, you minus 3 because those are extra stitches, and then divide it by 50, right? I'm sorry, this is not making any sense. Maybe it is to you, but you want any multiple of 50 plus 3. Make sense? So you could do 53, you could do 103, you could do 153, you could do 203, you could do 253, you could do 303. Does that make sense? Clear as mud? So that's the stitch count. You can do foundation single crochet, or you can chain and then single crochet all the way across. That works. I've also heard of people doing like an I-cord start foundation row. Yeah. How do I add the next section? This is one that I get asked a lot too. I've tried to put this everywhere, but I still get the question asked. And so there's no seaming involved. You don't make each section separate. What you do is you crochet section 1, and then for section 2, row 1 of section 2 is just worked on top of the last row of section 1. Does that make sense? So you don't start foundation row again, you just work row 1 as back loop only, single crochet all the way across in whatever color it is. With that, section 1 ends with color A, and section 2 starts with color A, so it's 2 color A's right in a row. That's no problem. That's no problem. You just work color A right on top of color A, back loop only all the way across. Maybe the worry people have is that there's 2 like ends in a row, and it does kind of look weird, I think, right away. You're like, okay, that's a little off because you just have 2 whites in a row. But we're gonna add this envelope border at the end. I don't weave in my ends. All of them are just encased in this double envelope border. And you can't tell. It ain't no thing. Ain't no thing. All of the charts are like different sizes. Anywhere from like 25 to 31 or 2 rows. So it's not like it won't look uneven. It'll look just fine. That's not a problem. Yeah, that's another question I'm going to add right here is do I have to weave in all those ends? No, you do not have to weave in all those ends. No, don't do it. Don't weave in all your ends. I mean, you can if you want to, but like I just mentioned, there's this envelope border. Okay, there's an envelope border, which just means really you're going to crochet 2 borders, one using like the stitches on the front side and one using stitches on the back side, and then you're going to enclose them. I thought I had a little sample here. I'll use this. Okay, this is October's section of the monthly mystery Mosaic CAL. So here's all the ends that I'm talking about. You're going to crochet a border on this side, you're going to crochet a border on this side, and then you're going to seam them together like so. It's just going to be hidden in there. You'll trim the ends a little bit, but hope that makes sense. Yeah, Jenny just finished a blanket where she had a weave and a cajillion ends. So, brilliant border. It is brilliant. I did not come up with it with a concept. I did design the mosaic part of it. But yeah, envelope borders. They're a little bit time consuming, but I would so much rather be crocheting 2 borders than weaving in a bajillion ends. So use that. Do it. Don't weave in all your ends. And I hope that you're not watching this after crocheting 3 sections and you're like, I just wove in all of them. Yeah. Okay, the next question. How do I join in the crochet along part? How do I share my pictures? How do I get involved in the community? So I have a Juniper and Oaks crochet community on Facebook. You'll find that linked here as well. A lot of you are watching from that Facebook group. And so just request to join. I know some people were on the waiting list for a long, long time. That's because I'm just a one-woman show and I wasn't having any help adding people. And all of a sudden, like one day, a bajillion people joined at the same time. So I just couldn't keep up adding the people and making sure that you guys were legit and all that. So sorry that some of you waited for a long time. I'm going to publicly apologize. I'm sorry. I have got some help. And she's like on top of it and adding people all the time. If you don't answer the questions when you join the group, you probably won't get added to the group, just because it's just a way to keep my group a little bit more secure. Like if you don't crochet, why would you be in the group? So I have said no to some people. So if you've asked to join and you were declined and you're like, I want in, just join again and just answer the questions and you'll be added, no problem. So you can join that group and then share pictures. Share all you want. You can share them. Some people are sharing them in the comments. Some people are just sharing them as posts themselves, and that's great. If you share them as the post, I'm more likely to see it and comment back. If you post something and I haven't responded for a long time, just realize I try not to be on my phone and on Facebook a whole lot, especially around my kids. I have 3 kids ranging from 16 months to 6 years old. So I just don't want them to see me scrolling on my phone all the time. So if just know that I do try to respond to everybody's questions and comments and pictures as well. I'll get to you. Okay. So share those on my Facebook group and then share them on social media. Okay, let's get more people to join this, Cal, because they love your pictures and they want to know more. So share on social media, Instagram, your Facebook groups or Facebook pages, TikToks. So if you're doing videos or whatever, just share it. Make sure you tag me. I'm at Juniper and Oaks at all the things. So tag me at Juniper and Oaks. Make sure there's an ES at the end so I can see it there and I'll like help share your stuff. And then use the hashtag Mosaic Nordic CAL. And that way people can look at that hashtag and see everybody else's pictures as well. So that's what you can do. If you have any more questions, I think that the best place you should post your questions is in the Facebook group that I talked about. So click that link to join the Facebook group and ask your questions. Don't be afraid to just post them as their own comment or as their own post so that lots of people can see them and answer your questions for you. I'm kind of like outsourcing my customer support a little bit. I'm sorry, but that's just what I have to do. So put that in the Facebook group, and then, somebody will answer your question. If you see a question on the Facebook group and you know the answer the question. That would be so helpful for me. That way you guys can just help each other out, and you'll get your answers right away. They'll be answered quicker by others who know the answer. Then you can email me. My email is erin@juniperandoaks.com. You can email me and I will answer your questions. But like I said, Juniper and Oaks is not my full-time job. I don't just sit down and wait for emails to come in and answer them. I'm just not immediately available to help. So it might be a few days before I can respond. Thank you for understanding that. My family is my priority and my church is my priority. And I also have a nursing job. So those things are just more priority for me than answering all the emails. I love the emails. I love it. Please keep them coming. Just be patient. So the Facebook group is the best place. Ask your questions there and then answer each other's questions if you know the answer. Okay? And then if there's something that it's like me, Erin, the host of this crochet along, is the one who needs to answer your question, you can tag me and I'll answer it quicker. Just because I'll see it faster, but just know it won't be immediate. Okay? Thank you for understanding that. If you are all caught up on the CAL and you're like, Monday just can't come soon enough, I want section 4, I want the next section, what am I going to do? I have a question for that. What am I going to do? Of course, I've already mentioned this. You can get access to all the sections right now today by purchasing that ebook, and then you don't have to wait. You can just crochet it along. I know someone who unfortunately is laid up because of a torn ligament or something in her leg, so she's hasn't been working and she's been crocheting. Yay. Not yay for the torn ligament not being able to work, but I just love extra time to crochet. Sorry for your health. But she's like all caught up and with a CAL, and then she started the monthly Mosaic Mystery CAL. So that CAL, I don't have the blanket right here. It's this very similar project, but month by month I'm releasing a new section of the crochet along. Just month by month, and this is happening at the end of the month. So October's section is going to be released tomorrow. You can join that CAL. There's charts that are for free on my website, and then there's also an ebook that has all of the sections. The one thing that's a little bit different about this CAL is that it's a mystery CAL. It's a mystery to you. It's a mystery to me. Like this Nordic one, you know, the blanket's already been made. You know what it looks like. You know what you're getting. The monthly Mosaic Mystery CAL is a mystery. The people who like signed up for it on day one, they had no idea. They knew what the first section was, and they didn't know. And psst, I didn't know either. This is not a secret. I've posted this. It's a secret, or it's a secret to me. It's a mystery to me. I just designed this section like on Monday-ish, or over the weekend with my husband while we were watching TV. So each section is just a mystery. It's not like a cohesive blanket that has a central theme. The theme is just kind of 2022, and then each section has some meaning to that. So like February's was hearts because of Valentine's Day. June's, I think it was June's, was a Monstera plant leaf because I ran a blog hop called Plants with Yarn. This one is pumpkins because of fall and Halloween, just stuff like that. January's was like these peaks and pillars, kind of these highs and these lows, because there's the start of a new year and you think, oh, a new year, it's going to be awesome. I mean, each ear is going to be high and it's going to be low. So that's kind of, some of the meaning is obvious, like pumpkins. Some of the meaning is just like more abstract. So that's the monthly monthly Mosaic Mystery CAL. Similar blanket, you can get the charts for free on my website, or you can buy the ebook. Last year, I thought the blanket was over here. No, it's not. I don't know where it is. Oh, it's in the toy room because they were using it to make blanket forts. So it's a corner to corner Afghan with squares of similar designs. If you like this last pattern here, Joanna designed for last year's corner to corner version, and she used it's the same thing, but this one's mosaic and the other one was corner to corner. So it's a red and white blanket, Christmassy. It's corner to corner color work. A little bit more complicated, but you can make that. You may have seen that right now. The Harmony blanket crochet along just started. I think the first 3 sections are out on that as well, and that's working a little bit more faster paced than mine is. I have a design in that, the Harmony blanket CAL. Go to the FAQs and it's there, and I've also included it into some emails. But this one is just like stunning blanket with interesting textures, bobbles and cables, and it's really beautiful. I really want to make the whole thing right now, but I'm just busy with this. I also have a bunch of free crochet patterns up on my blog. So if you're just waiting, looking for something to do, browse my website and you can find those. So the monthly Mosaic Mystery CAL charts will stay up on my blog. Yes, the monthly Mosaic CAL, those charts are going to stay up for free, I think. I don't see why I would take them down. So those will be free up on the blog. The charts for this CAL should always be free on the blog. If they're not, just reach out to that designer specifically. A coloring page would be awesome in the future. I have 3 coloring pages for free on my website. You just kind of have to dig for them. I don't think they're like super noticeable, but I have 3 coloring pages. Then I have like a coloring book on Etsy. But maybe, are you talking about like a coloring page for this? For this blanket? That might be awesome. I'll look into that because that's a cool idea. Any other questions before we go? I talked for 45 minutes. Can you believe it? How do I get rid of your comment? 45 minutes I talked. Thank you for watching the whole thing. I hope that clears up a lot of questions. Maybe I caused more questions. I don't know. I do know also I get a lot of comments about my introduction to the CAL YouTube video. I was like recording at the library because I was like launch day for me, and I was just like, don't want my husband, don't want my kids around. I am launching this crochet along. So I did a live at the library outside, and the internet connection wasn't very good, so that video is not awesome. I hope this one will suffice. Jenny, thank you for watching and for your comments, and for all 8 of you who are currently watching live, yay. If you're watching the replay, just comment replay and then ask your question, and I will try to answer that timely. Okay, so thank you all for being understanding of my family, and that, I mean, to be honest, I love crochet. I love crochet. I'm like thinking about it all the time. I'm like, okay, what new pattern should I do? And somebody commented that, like, what response should I give? Like, I'm wanting to think about it all the time, but I do have a family. And so thank you for understanding that they come first. And I will get to you when I can. Thank you for supporting me by buying the ebook or staying on the website for the chart. If you find that the chart, you just can't read the chart, I'll work with you. Just maybe, I don't know, maybe, you know, your computer is a little bit different. or something. I'll work with you, okay? So I hope you understand. Love you guys. Thank you. I'm signing off.